Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, February 11th. I'm Alissa Coram here with Ed Carson. We have your market update reporting to you live from our newsroom in Los Angeles. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about restaurant brands as well as Five Below, and starting off with Shopify. But first, we're going to be taking a look at the major indexes. So we are narrowly mixed. The Dow is down about 0.1%, but we have the NASDAQ up about 0.1%, and the S&P 500 is hovering around flat. So if we look at the chart of the NASDAQ, how are we feeling about the uptrend? It's still very much intact here.
Yeah, I mean, we actually closed with tiny gains thanks to for the week last week. We did pull back. The S&P and the NASDAQ pulled back from their 200-day line. That's the line right above sort of the top of the recent trading there. And you know, that's a natural point of resistance. And I think it's also when the market, when you have a correction, it comes down, can come down pretty fast, but usually takes a while to come back up. We've come up a lot. It would not be surprising to consolidate for a while, or even so. This action today is fine. I mean, it's like we're not really going anywhere. We're off the intraday highs. Obviously, you always want to go up, and you want to go, finish strong. But this day, it doesn't seem to be a whole lot to it, to be honest with you.
Right. What we're seeing right now was anticipated, and if a stock really is moving in sync with the NASDAQ, maybe potentially some handles forming here.
Yeah, but it also means that recent breakouts can have some struggles. We talked about on Friday, Trade Desk and some others where, so when stocks breaking out, when you're in this consolidation mode, just be aware of it. The market's not in that gung-ho January, action right now anymore.
Exactly. Well, we are taking a look at 3 stocks vying for breakouts today, starting off with Shopify. Those shares up over 1% in above average turnover here. Earnings are coming out tomorrow, and we have analysts expecting earnings to rise 33% after last quarter, a decline of 20% here. And tell us a little bit about, first of all, what Shopify does, and then we'll take a look at the chart.
Well, Shopify basically sets up, websites for small businesses, and so that's really what they do. And
Kylie Cosmetics, Allbirds, those types of brands.
Yeah, so a lot of things that just don't want to take that time themselves to have, to have it really professionally done. And the company only became profitable in the second half of 2017. And so, and going forward, I think that's really impressive. They have like triple-digit earnings gains expected after this quarter that they're reporting. The stock has run up sort of straight up. I mean, it sort of cleared some resistance a few weeks ago, but on low volume. It flirted with a buy point a couple of times last week. It'd be great if it could close above it, but boy, it's a little bit, buying right before earnings tomorrow morning. If that would be something where maybe if you want to do an options play.
Exactly.
But if you've bought, it's really difficult to buy right ahead of earnings like this because you don't know. This could go up 10%, this could go down 10% or more. Given the results and guidance.
Yeah, that's why we talk about those earnings options so much, as well as the gap up strategy if the stock does gap up on their results. So
absolutely.
We'll have to see what happens with Shopify come tomorrow. And Restaurant Brands is also staging a breakout today, although it has come off of its intraday highs quite a bit. Now trading up about 2% in heavy volume, back below a buy point from a handle, and we actually previewed this last week.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it was sort of like, it was such an obvious handle. There's so many handles a couple weeks ago that were just like you sort of had to really peek at. It had come back down as the stock surged late last month because they had given some preliminary sales guidance. They also announced a number of management changes around that time, and stock came back down. So they beat narrowly, but the guidance had already sort of been raised. I mean, or the estimates had sort of been raised a little bit. So I don't think there was too much surprise there. Obviously, you'd like to see it move back above strong volume today. Base going back to late July, but so that's just something to watch for. Sometimes in the first few minutes it can really pop, and it's often good to wait for that first hour high to see how things are going.
Yeah, because we've seen quite a few of these earnings gap ups start to fade. So it's definitely something that you want to keep in mind when you're buying.
And the market has faded from the opening high. So
Yeah.
some of the breakouts, some of the things that were peaking above weren't looking as great.
And Five Below looking to clear a buy point today, up about 1.9%. Volume is lighter than average, but it's clearing a handle area that it had tested in prior sessions, but hadn't quite been able to climb above that.
Yeah, it never got above that even intraday, and so it'd be nice to see that going up. A lot of the discounters were really hard hit, but this one wasn't hit. It did a little better than others, and the relative strength line, that's improved. I mean, the relative strength line on all these stocks have been pretty good. The relative strength line is the blue line down below there. That one is actually at a new high. That's positive. We see that with Shopify and basically with restaurant brands. And so that's positive because you want to see the stock outperforming the market. Obviously, any stock that's hitting a high or close to it is going to be outperforming the S&P 500, which is still well off its October peaks. So, but this is positive action. We won't be seeing earnings for like another month or so from this company.
Yeah, but Five Below, just on the face of it, great fundamentals as well. A 99 composite rating, which is something that, when you're quickly scanning stocks, is a great first pass if you're looking at that composite rating, since we're looking at fundamentals and key fundamental and technical metrics.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning, and be sure to head to investors.com throughout the session for all the latest stock news and analysis. And if you check back here at the close, Chris Gessel and myself will be giving you our end-of-day analysis with our Stock Market Today report. So make sure you are subscribed to our live notifications, and that way you'll get alerts whenever we go on the air, whether you like watching our videos on Twitter or Periscope, Facebook or YouTube. Lots of choices there to catch us live. So make sure you're subscribed, and we will see you right back here at the close.